Okay, part 2 of wing B. So you've done your 6 rows. We're now going to make the vein smaller and disappear it completely because the wing is coming into the middle section now, so we're making it smaller. So we're just going to go across exactly as we did before. So cloth stitch, twist, cloth stitch and twist, cloth stitch, bit of a tension. Okay, now we did 3 here. We're going to make it smaller, so we're going to do the reverse of what we did here. So we're going to do two twists, and then cloth stitch, twist, cloth stitch and twist, and then cloth stitch times 2, and this will bring that vein together. Okay, twist times 2 on your workers and pop in your pin. So back the other way, cloth stitch times 2, cloth stitch and twist, cloth stitch, and again we're making it smaller, so we're just doing 1 twist on this one, cloth stitch and twist, cloth stitch and cloth stitch. Okay, let's see how we go with this. See if it's, yeah, see how that works. Just closing up nicely there. Twist your workers twice and pop in your pin. And back we go. Now we don't have to do that twist in the middle because we've come to 1, which was our last one. So we're doing cloth stitch twice, cloth stitch and twist, cloth stitch, no twist, cloth stitch and twist, cloth stitch and cloth stitch. And that should bring that quite close together in the middle there, which it does. And as you work it more, as you work it narrower and narrower, that will get closer and closer together as you're pulling your passives into position. Okay, so the next one is on the next pinhole. So we'll work to that one exactly the same as we did there, with no twists in the middle. Make these a little bit longer. So we're going to the left, cloth stitch, cloth stitch, cloth stitch and twist, cloth stitch, cloth stitch, cloth stitch and twist, cloth stitch, cloth stitch, twist your worker twice and pop in your pin. Now you will notice as we get closer and closer to the narrow bit, oops, what's that wrapped around there? Let's take that pin out, start again. That's better. Okay, what are we doing here? What is this doing here? Oh my goodness. I've got it wrapped around that pin there. So let me just take that off of there. There we go. Right. So you will notice, as I was saying, as we get narrower and narrower, that's where we're going to take out those 2 extra pairs that we put in up here. But we're not going to take them out until we've finished off these 2 trails, the cloth stitch twist on each side. So this is where we stop doing that now. So as you come to your marked point. So now we're just going to go across the whole thing in just cloth stitch. That's all you need to do, all the way across. all the way across in cloth stitch. And you will find this gets really quite dense, but that's what you need, because that's what holds the cut ends of your pairs when you take them out. You don't want it to be all loose and then it'll unravel, and nobody needs that in their life, let's face it. Okay, I'm going to sit down for this next bit. Ooh. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure all my bobbins are roughly the same size. Not exactly, but not far off either. Okay, so now we're going to do another row of cloth stitch all the way across, all the pairs. So just cross, twist, cross, all the way across. And you'll see how it starts to get more and more dense as it narrows, and we can work those pairs out. And you also see how that vein's closed up really nicely there, because we're narrowing the pattern. Okay, so you've come to the marked part of the pattern. It says -2 pairs. Now, because we're doing all of them in cloth stitch, you can take out any 2 pairs you like. It does not matter. So if you have so as long as they're not the outside edge pairs, you can't really take those out. I mean, you could if you really wanted to, but I would suggest not to, because it will make the flow of the wing more noticeable that you've got bits missing. But if you have pairs in the middle that you don't like the color, they're not working for you, they might be a bit low on thread, those are the ones to take out. So I'm not going to take out the green ones that I put in, but I am going to take out the 2 that I used for the cloth stitch and twist. So all you do is you work out which ones you want to take out and you put them to the back. If you want to put them on a pin, absolutely do that. But that's all you do. Just make sure they're flipped back off the work. Like that out of the way. I'll move that even further, I think. Up there. As long as they go backwards over your work. So those threads are out of the way, those bobbins are out of the way. And now we've reduced it to our original 6 passives and a worker pair. Now, do not panic if you think these are, you don't need to tie them off or anything like that, because we're working really dense cloth stitch. That density will hold those threads in place. That's why we don't take them out until we have enough pairs to hold them in. And don't be scared of taking them out either. Another tip I would give is probably don't take out 2 pairs that are next to each other, because that will leave a hole. And we don't want that. So we're gonna work until we need to turn the pillow. That's the next thing. So probably about here. The work then moves this way. So I'm just going to turn the pillow to follow that. And I'm going to need to rearrange everything. So let's have a look here. Going that way. These are the pairs I've just taken out on a pin. I'm just going to pop them over there, out the way. And now we're coming down here to do this little half wing. Okay. Make sure you can see it. Now this particular wing is worked in exactly the same way as wing A. So you just literally go in cloth stitch. There is a vein marked in the middle, which is done exactly the same way as this one. And whether you want to do 1, 2, and keep doing 2 twists, or whether you want to add it up to 3 is entirely up to you. whichever you think is easier or more attractive, or depending on your threads, all sorts of things. So we're just going to continue in cloth stitch. Now we've turned our pillow 90 degrees because the work always should be at a 90-degree angle. So the workers should be always horizontal, fairly horizontal, and the passives should really try and keep them vertical to you. It's slightly more difficult on a curve or on a change on this one, but that's what we aim to do, which is why we've turned the pillow. Now my pins are over here, and just keep following the pattern. It's all marked on there for you. Yes, it does get very dense, but keep tensioning your threads. It's all you need to do to make this work. This is a really good exercise in tension and basic pattern requirements. And as you can see, we're now turning that corner really quite nicely. I'm going to move my pin box over here. Just going to take these things off the pillow a moment. Okay, now we're coming more into the horizontal vertical, which is what I talked about. If you have a block pillow, you just need to turn your block. If you have a cookie pillow, you just need to rotate your cookie pillow. That's all we're doing, nothing fancy. You'll also notice on this one that the pinholes on the inside curve are closer together, and the ones on the outside curve are slightly further apart. This is so we're not doing any turning stitches. This is a very basic, where am I going? Here. A very basic pattern with a few extra bits in it. I didn't want to add an extra complication of turning stitches, particularly with this thick thread, because that will all bunch up on one side. But if you're making this in thin thread and you need to add some extra pinholes, feel free. Okay, so we've come to the part now where it says to start the vein, which is that decorative hole in the middle, just like we did previously. And we're just going to go and need to work it through into the middle. So our middle is here. So we've got 3 on either side, 3 pairs of bobbins on either side, and we start with 1 twist and then back through these 3. Double twist, pop in your pin. And back we go again. Into the middle, twist your workers twice, work back out to the side, all in cloth stitch. Twist your workers twice, pop in the pin. I do apologise about the wildlife. It's making a lot of noise out here today. I don't know why they've decided today is the day for shouting at each other, but that's crows for you. Okay, we're going back into the centre. Again, you can make this 2 or 3, whichever you prefer. I'm just going to do 2 on mine, so it's not quite so tense. Okay, so I'm just going to do the next few rows. I'm going to just use 2 twists in the middle of mine. You can put 3 in if you want to. And I'm going to see you here where it says to finish off the vein. So that's another 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. I'll see you in 4 rows time. Okay, so we're now going to start finishing off our vein. We are coming to the end of the pattern. So anybody that's been doing 3 twists here, you'll need to do a row of 2 and then a row with 1 twist. I have just been doing 2 twists, so this is my last row of vein. But if you're doing the 3, that will be 2 twists, and then the next row will have 1 twist in. You're just 1 step ahead, that's all. And then we're just going to finish off the last couple of rows just in cloth stitch. So pop in your pin there. That pin is not secured, there we go. So again, if you were doing 3, that would be 2, this would be 1. I don't have any more to do because I was doing 2 and 1. As long as you step down in the same order as you stepped up, you'll be fine. Okay, let's give this some nice tensioning here. Give it some love. We're twisting it twice. We're popping in our pin. We're going back. I think I've got 2 rows left. As you can see, my worker bobbins, they were very, very full when we started, but because they have a lot of twists on them, we've gone right down to the last little bits, which is great. I am very happy with that. Okay, last row all the way across. Okay, pop in the last pin and do your last cloth stitch, and then take, what should we do this time? Should we use the workers? So I'm just going to undo that little bit once just so I can get that worker on the outside. The other worker is going to go all the way underneath those ones there, and we are just going to tie these off. What's happening here? So we're just going to do a reef knot. Okay, and then we can cut these off. And for anybody that notices, this is my Moonjoy bobbin. So this is for the Artemis 2 moon pass by. So I've got my little stars on there, my little galaxy bead and my galaxy bobbin. Just a little sample there. Okay, now we're done. If you want, these are the bobbins that we took out earlier. Just cut them off with a long thread for now. And then when you take your pins out, you can do it then or you can do it now. Just cut them as close as you can. Like, get right up to that lace and cut them off. They will not come out unless you are pulling it. So there, your finished wing B, part 2. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop me a comment. Check out my Facebook. Check out my Instagram. Again, you can get these patterns on the Bobbin Along lace group. Yeah, I think it's called that. Anyway, I've linked it in my descriptions. And let me know how you go. Show your work. We love to see it. And I will see you soon.